There is a decision on the table. It feels like the right one. It feels like you thought it through carefully, realistically. But here's the question that needs to be asked. Is this decision coming from love or is it coming from fear? Most of us don't even know the difference anymore. Fear has been operating for so long that it's starting to sound like wisdom. Decisions get made to avoid pain, to avoid rejection, to avoid being alone, and it gets labeled as being smart. But you have to understand that when fear is present, love is not present. They can't even coexist together. One will always cancel out the other. Fear has been in the room for so long that it's been renamed. It's been repackaged. It's been called discernment, called boundaries, called protecting my peace. But underneath it all, it's still fear. This is what the word perfect actually means and why it matters. John wrote something that most of us have heard but never really sat with. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torment. But he who fears has not been made perfect in love. The word perfect here isn't talking about being flawless. This word means mature, complete, fully developed. John isn't saying if there's a mess up, there's no love. He's saying mature love drives out fear. When love matures, the fear to say or do what's right is no longer present. There's no paralysis over what people think. There's no control from the need to be accepted. There's no avoidance of conflict. Decisions get made from a place of wholeness, not from a place of lack. Love does not coexist with fear. It throws it out. The word cast out here is the same word used by Jesus when he cast out demons. It's forceful. It's intentional. It's not passive. It means to drive out, to expel, to throw out with force. This is the same word used in Mark chapter 1, verse 12, when the Spirit drove Jesus into the wilderness. It's the same word used in Matthew 21 and 12, when Jesus drove out the money changers from the temple. Mature love doesn't coexist with fear. Mature love throws it out. Understand this about fear. Fear doesn't just make you uncomfortable. It actually punishes you. John says fear involves torment. The Greek word for torment, it means punishment, torment, correction through punishment. It's not just discomfort. It's not just anxiety. It's punishment. Fear doesn't just make things uncomfortable. Fear punishes. It keeps people up at night. It replays every worst case scenario. It convinces me that if the wrong move gets made, everything will fall apart. Fear is what controls, and then it frames you for being controlling. Let me show you what that looks like. Many of us have a list of everything our partner has to have: height, size, job, income, how they dress, what kind of car they drive, where they live. It's not even a person being looked for. It's a checklist, and it gets called standards. These are not standards. These are fear in control. The search isn't for a partner. The search is for someone to make things feel secure. And the belief is that security comes from height, income, status, external things that have nothing to do with love. Bad days can't happen without tone correction. Words can't even be said without an analysis of what was meant. Frustrations can't exist without it becoming personal. The goal isn't to understand where someone is coming from. The goal is to control how they show up, and it gets called communication. But that's not communication. It's fear in control. The fear of being hurt, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of conflict. And it's so loud that no one can even exist outside of our expectations. Snapping happens when protection is the goal. Fear makes conditions get put on everything. The 5 love languages. Are they really languages, or are they just fear with better marketing? This is where things have gotten twisted. It gets called love languages. It's said that this is how love is received. Now, I get it. I really do. The concept of love languages has helped a lot of people feel seen. It has helped people understand why this connection happens. It's given language to something that couldn't be articulated before. But here's the problem. People are telling others how they receive love simply because no one ever told them how God designed them to receive love. Expecting love was never the goal. Love was never something that was supposed to be demanded from others in a specific way. Love is always about what is given. Fear has gotten comfortable sitting in love's seat. It has taken love's purpose, which has always been about giving. It has taken love's purpose, which has always been about giving, and has twisted it into a list of expectations that get placed on other people. So now it gets said, if they don't speak my love language, I don't feel loved. But that's not love speaking. That's fear. Fear that's fueled by conditions. But that's not love speaking. That's fear. Fear that's fueled by conditions, and it's been dressed up and called a love language so it sounds like love. You've been handing narcissists the playbook to manipulate you. The 5 love languages actually cause the true results of having God's love to be missed. They leave people as prey for vultures. Everyone has been told exactly how to manipulate. The playbook has been given. If you want me to feel loved, just do these things. Now, anyone who wants access knows exactly what buttons to press. A narcissist doesn't have to guess anymore. They don't have to work to figure out how to get in. The door has been opened, the alarm code has been given, and an instruction manual on exactly how to make someone feel safe enough to be controlled has been provided. Oh, your love language is words of affirmation? Well, then let me tell you everything you want to hear until you're too deep to leave. Your love language is acts of service? Let me do everything for you until you feel like you can't survive without me. Your love language is gifts? Let me buy your loyalty until you feel obligated to stay. This isn't love. This is strategy, and the love language has made it easier than ever. But God's love doesn't work like that. God has already given us the blueprint, and we just ignored it. Paul wrote it out in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. This is the blueprint. This is how God designed love to function. This is how love was meant to be given, and this is how love was meant to be received. God has already given us the blueprint on how to give love, but we started listening to someone who intellectually has redirected the meaning of that love. So let's break down this blueprint. Love is patient. The Greek word for patient here means long-tempered, to endure, to bear long with. It's endurance with grace. It's not snapping when someone doesn't meet the expectations. It's not punishing someone for having a bad day. Love is kind. The Greek word here means to show oneself useful, to act benevolently. Kindness isn't passive. Kindness is active. It's doing good. It's serving. It's making someone's life better. Love does not envy. The Greek word here means it's not jealous. It doesn't burn with envy. Love doesn't compare. Love doesn't compete. Love doesn't need what someone else has to feel secure. Love does not boast, and it's not proud. The Greek word here for boast, it means it does not brag. The word for proud here means puffed up or to inflate. Love does not make itself big to make someone else feel small. Oh, I need to say that one again because y'all know somebody like this. Love does not make itself big to make someone else feel small. Love does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. The Greek word for dishonor means to act unbecoming, to behave indecently. The word for self-seeking, it means to seek one's own thing. Listen, everything that's tormenting you, it doesn't come from love. Notice everything that brings trauma, insecurities, depression, all the things that torment are things that do not come from love. All the things that love does never leave someone feeling like most people feel after encounters with people who say they love them. See, the love language, it will make you feel loved. God's love is love. So let me show you the difference. God's love is healing. The love language feels like healing. God's love is security. The love language feels like security. God's love is safe. The love language feels like safety. See the difference? One feels like, the other one is. Now, this is not about making someone feel bad if they believe in them. There's understanding for why they resonate. There's understanding for why they've helped, but there's also a need to show how they might be making life so much harder. So what happens when fear sits in love's seat? Words of affirmation. The need gets expressed. I need to hear that I'm loved. I need to hear that I'm doing a good job. I need to hear that I'm valued. But here's what God says. Love is kind. Kindness doesn't wait for someone to ask for affirmation. Kindness sees and speaks life without begging being required. When love is patient, words don't get withheld simply because of being upset. Punishment doesn't happen through silence. If words of affirmation are being demanded, here's the question you have to ask. Is love being looked for, or is validation being looked for to quiet the fear that there's not enough? Quality time. The needs get expressed. I need time spent with me. I need undivided attention. I need to be prioritized. Patience doesn't interpret someone's busyness as rejection. Patience understands that people have seasons, responsibilities, and callings that require attention, and that doesn't diminish their love. Love gives space. Love trusts. So if quality time is the need, here's the question we have to ask. Is connection being looked for, or is constant presence being looked for to quiet the fear that out of sight means out of mind? Receiving gifts. The need gets expressed. I need tangible reminders that I'm thought of. I need to see effort. I need proof that I matter. But here's what God's love says. Love does not seek its own. Love gives freely and not out of obligation, not to manipulate, not to buy affection or secure loyalty. A gift given with strings attached isn't a gift, it's a transaction. If gifts are being required, here's the question you have to ask. Is thoughtfulness being looked for, or is proof being looked for to quiet the fear that love isn't real unless it's tangible? Acts of service. The need gets expressed. I need things done for me. I need help. I need care shown by things taken off my plate. But here's what God's love says. Love is kind. Kindness serves, but kindness doesn't serve out of obligation. Kindness does not serve to avoid conflict. Kindness doesn't serve simply because it was demanded. If acts of service are being required, here's the question to ask. Is partnership being looked for, or is someone being looked for to carry, to quiet the fear of not being able to do this alone? Physical touch. The need gets expressed. I need to be held. I need physical closeness. I need touch to feel safe. But here's what God's love says. Love is not self-seeking. Touch definitely connects, but it does not consume. It doesn't demand access to someone's body to soothe personal anxiety. Love respects boundaries. Love doesn't use physical intimacy as the only proof of connection. If physical touch is being required, here's the question to ask. Is intimacy being looked for, or is the constant physical reassurance being looked for to quiet the fear that distance means disconnection? When fear makes demands, love is no longer present. Do you see it now? The love languages aren't wrong, but they've become a way for fear to sit in love's seat and make demands. This isn't saying these needs are bad, but it leaves room for fear to create the conditions. When fear is allowed to define what love looks like, love stops being about giving and starts being about control. It stops being about serving and starts being about survival. It stops being about connection and starts being about validation. God's love doesn't make demands. God's love gives. God's love serves. God's love is patient. God's love is kind. When operating in God's love happens, the search isn't for someone to meet a list. The search is for someone to serve, someone whose life can be made better, someone patience can be given to, someone kindness can be given to. Okay, so hold up real quick. If this is landing, if there's a realization happening that fear has been operating and getting called love, there's an invitation into something. We're building a community of people who are done with the surface level faith and ready to dig into the hard questions about love, fear, identity, and what it really means to reset your life. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Man, we're just getting started. If you prefer listening, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Same content, different format. If you want to read instead, sign up for the newsletter. These get delivered to your inbox every Saturday morning. And if you want to go deeper, I am creating a community. Come join us, come go deeper, come learn with us. Lastly, if this is hitting home, share this with someone you know needs to hear this. You know exactly who they are. All right, let's keep going. So I want to talk to you about the trap that we've been walking into. Solomon wrote, "The fear of man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord shall be safe. That's Proverbs 29, verse 25. The meaning of the word snare here is trap or bait. When decisions get made based on fear of what people think, bait is being taken into a trap. Decisions aren't being made based on what's right. Decisions are being made based off of what's comfortable, what's acceptable, what won't rock the boat. And every time that happens, the trap is being walked into. Why? Because fear is present. Fear of being rejected, fear of being alone, fear of being too much, fear of being misunderstood. And as long as fear is still present, you will keep taking the bait. So about that decision you're about to make, are you about to make that decision out of fear? Not from love, not from peace, not from God, but from fear? Here's what needs to be heard. If a decision is being made and fear is driving, love is not present. When fear is driving, building isn't happening on the rock. Building is happening on sand. A life can't be built on fear. A marriage can't be built on fear. A career can't be built on fear. Identity can't be built on fear. Fear is sand, and sand shifts. Okay, so this is the moment. If you know exactly what decision this is about, if you felt it in your chest, if your stomach dropped, this is the moment to choose differently. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when feeling ready happens. Right now, that decision doesn't have to be made from fear. You have permission to choose love instead. I know that sounds scary. I know it feels risky. I know it feels like something is about to be lost. But here's what needs to be known. What's feared to be lost was never meant to be kept. If it only works when fear is present, it was never built on love. Nothing is being lost. And what was never meant to stay is being released. And when what was never meant to stay gets released, room gets made for what God has been trying to get to you this whole time. Before I go, I want you to answer these questions. If fear wasn't in the room, what decisions would be made right now? What is being called wisdom that is actually fear dressed up? Is the checklist in place to serve someone better or to help avoid pain? What would it look like if the next decision was built on love instead of fear? Who is being protected by you staying silent? Them or the fear of being seen as the problem? If mature love casts out fear, what is fear still in control of in your life? What is being held on to that was never meant to stay? I want you to sit with these. Don't rush past them. Write them down. Answer them honestly, because these answers will show you exactly where fear has been sitting in love's seat.